Yeah. Morning, everyone. So today we'll discuss about data visualization and charting, in Excel. Okay. So data visualization is basically not just in Excel but in any type of visualization. Okay. And this is fun. Okay. Let me come back. You can follow this slide in uh, Google Classroom. You can get this. Right. When it comes to searching. Visualization basic. Okay, so oh, okay, let's start. Right. So this is how we'll discuss today. Okay. So first about visualization and why we need to do a visualization, right? And we discuss about human perception on visualization. So this slide is about the theory, and then we will discuss about basic charting and format, right? You have a different type of chart. The question is, when are you going to use pie chart? When are you going to use line chart, and so on? Okay, and there are several charting tips, and finally we'll discuss about how to lie with chart. Okay, so okay, so visualization is the conversion of data, usually chunk of numbers, into visual picture or chart or table, so that the characteristic of the data and the relationship among the data or the attribute in the data can be analyzed and reported. Okay, so our goal is to highlight the characteristic, to highlight the attribute, the relationship among the data. So we say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So this is in my old website. I asked whether we are similar. So why visualization, right? So visualization of data is one of the most powerful and appealing technique for data exploration. In fact, okay, there are several companies just build their company just to visualize data. You know, so if you want to explore in this direction, you can. And this slide is for you, right? Humans have well-developed ability to analyze large amount of information that is presented visually. Okay, so when we see things, is usually better than when we hear things. Okay. Now, we can detect general pattern, the trend. Yeah? We can detect outlier, unusual pattern using our eyes. Right? So, example here. Do you know whose picture is this?
No, no idea.
Huh?
Abraham
Yes. So
Lincoln.
this is kind of so the picture is out of focus, right? But our mind is not a camera, so our brain is really work based on proximity, continuity, similarity, and the form, right? So we can recognize this even if it's blurred. Yeah. So now look at this line pattern and tell me whether the left is the same pattern or different pattern from the right. Okay, are you ready? The same or different?
different.
Huh? Slightly inclined, so it's not really the same, right? How about this? It's the same or not?
It's still slightly different.
Yeah. How about this one? Yeah, clearly different, right? So the most right part is different. How about this one? The bottom right is different. How about this one?
The left are different.
Yeah, they are different. How about this one?
The center one and the bottom ones are different.
Yes. How about this one? The same or different?
Just slightly different.
Different. Okay, so notice the time that you try to see the difference. Okay, so your decision become more difficult as there are more number of lines, isn't it? So the more information that you get, the more difficult you see the difference, right? And human perception is also have inability to see the depth. Okay, our eyes can only see, especially in the picture, is only 2 dimension. Okay, not 3 dimension. So as if this is true, but okay, this is only because of our perception. Okay, and if you have only one eyes, you can actually only see 2 dimension. The fact that you have 2 eyes is it make your ability to see 3 dimension. So the picture in the camera, okay, that become 2 dimension because the camera only have one lens. Okay, and there are certain camera that they have 2 lens parallel, similar to our eyes. Then the camera can see the depth. Okay, so this is true that he is eating the sun? No, right? So human perception and visualization also distorted by what we have learned. This is an example. Okay, when we put yellow but the color is green, we put blue but the color is red, and so on. Okay, so then we get a little bit confused. What is yellow? What is blue? And so on. Because we have learned something. What we learn, okay, will influence our perception. On the right hand side here, okay, as if this is can you see a kind of circle in the middle? As if it is distorted, right? So in reality there is no change, okay, in the straight line, horizontal and vertical. If you look at the detail, you see there is no difference. But the existence of the small dot, the white small dot there, okay, that creating a circle, will play some perception in your own eyes. Correct? So okay, there is some kind of distortion, some kind of lens in the middle. Oh, here, my question to you: can you see a black dot? Can you see a black dot?
No.
No. In the look at again. Look at it again. In the black dot appear, okay, in the white circle, and it kept jumping.
Oh yeah, if I focus on one white dot, the other dots are white black.
Right.
Yeah.
So suddenly it kept jumping, a kind of black dot that kept jumping, isn't it? The black dot does not exist, but it's only in our perception. Similar this one. Okay. Focus on that drawing on the right. Can you see that the circle are rotating?
Yes. This is a pretty common one.
Yes. Right. So in reality, the circle are never rotate. This is a static image. Okay. But in our mind, they are rotating. The same thing with this optical illusion. Right. So if you focus on this one of this drawing, you will see some kind of change. Okay. The more stressful you are, okay, the more you will see the change. So sometimes the optical illusion will give you the clue how stressful you are. How about this one? This is the perspective distortion. Okay, the question is, which soldier is taller?
They are all actually the same.
Yeah, they are all actually the same, but the line,
Yeah.
will
The
make you
right one.
think that the right one is actually taller, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because you have a distortion based on the perspective you have learned. How about this one? The column. Okay. How many column you have here? 2 or 3?
It's 3 circular ones, cylindrical ones, but 2 square ones.
Yeah, so there are actually 2 columns, but there is of course this is just illusion. Okay, there is no real things like this. Oh, this is a feet illusion. How many feet the elephant has? Or which one is the feet of the elephant?
The feet is still the feet are still 4, but just like moved.
Yes. Right, so this is just illusion. Again, look at the things in the left side here. Okay. The circle with have orange color actually the same size. Okay. So, but the neighbor make it as if, okay, the left circle is smaller and the right circle is bigger, right? If you look at it at first glance without thinking, okay, without looking at the detail, then you will see as if they are different size. Yeah, the same thing on the right side here. Okay, they are the same ping, but the existence of green dot there will make it as if the ping that going to the positive trend, okay, is actually darker than the negative trend. Right. So our perception is also based on the neighbor. So there is a telling like this: oh, if you want to become beautiful, okay, bring someone ugly with you, then you will look much more beautiful. Okay. The same thing, if you want to become handsome, okay, bring someone ugly with you, okay, to visit the girl that you like. Okay, how about this? Is the red line parallel or not? Look at the red line.
It's supposed to be parallel, but
Yeah, supposed to be parallel, right? But your perception make it as if they are not parallel. The existence of the black square there, okay, make it as if they are not parallel. So again, we are playing with the perception here. Okay, now let's start with the charting. Okay, that's the beginning. Charting is about perception, right? So you use charting to present data. Okay, then when you present data, you need to answer some specific question. Okay, don't put everything in one chart. It's important principle there. Yeah, don't put everything in one chart. So only to answer specific question. Okay, and then use the concept or the display format that are familiar to the audience. So you need to understand the audience better. Okay, and of course when you put chart, don't forget to put the titles, okay, and also the label of the dependents and independent variables. Okay, so now let's look at the anatomy of a chart. Okay, so here, okay, in this chart example, we have one dependent variable. What is that? Oh no, we have two independent variable actually. One is the year. It has 6 level. What is that? 1980. Okay, 1980, 1982 until 1990. Yeah? Every 2 years. And then we have countries. It has 2 level with these 2 value, Sweden and Italy here. And then we have dependent variables, which is the number of birth. Right? So every chart must have 2 at least. One is called independent variable and the other one is dependent variables. Okay. Now, this is the principle when you want to put 2 chart. Okay, this is called informative change principle. Okay, when comparing 2 chart, the readers expect any change in the pattern means something. Okay, so this is an example. Can you find the rough correspondence between the 2 charts below? Okay. So you can see, okay, the revenues and the employees. Look at the amount of the chart, right? The larger part there. So for the Western Europe and for the for both Western Europe, okay, they are almost the same size, right? So then you can see that, oh, there is some kind of correlation between the revenues and the employees. Okay, so remember, when you want to compare 2 charts, the reader expect any change in the pattern means something. Okay, let's go to the basic visualization. Okay, so we will talk about arrangement, visual table, pie chart, okay, bar chart or histogram, tornado chart, scatter plot, line chart, and area chart, and then radar. Okay, of course there are many other visualization, but these are the basic. Okay, look at the arrangement. Okay, look at the matrix on the left hand side here. Okay, and now the same matrix, okay, the same matrix, I just rearrange. into like this. Which one is better? Right? See, the same information, when you rearrange, when you group them, okay, then you suddenly see some pattern, right? So then you can start to see, oh, this is easier to understand the data because you rearrange. Did you get it? Okay, so look at the example of table here, okay, and then look at the chart on the right. They are actually exactly the same information, okay. So you can see the chart will provide better visual, okay, cues than the table, right? Why? Because in the chart you can start to see the slope, the trend, okay, compared to the table. Now the same data here, okay, you rearrange. How you rearrange? Okay, suppose the data is about time here, okay. So now we slide the same data, you slide it so that the orange, okay, July, will be exactly the same in the middle, right? Then suddenly you see some kind of pattern. So the point, if you have no pattern and you rearrange, you reorganize, then suddenly you create some pattern, which is easier to understand. Okay, humans like to see pattern. Now, visual table is a kind of pictorial, okay. You want to use a picture to convey some information in relative amount. So the size is relative, okay, according to the amount that they represented. So in this case, if you use visual table, never, okay, depict the precision. Okay, so example in the left side here, you say you throw the amount of bottle water soap, okay, but you put 1 centimeter equal to 1,000 gallon. So this is wrong. Why? Because nobody will measure the centimeter here. Okay, so remember, in visual table you don't want to see the precision, you just want to see the amount, relative amount. Okay, so now if you create the visual table, the appearance of the pattern should be compatible with what it symbolizes. So if you talk about crime rate here, right, don't draw a child. Okay, of course, if you talk about crime rate, draw a picture of a criminal, right? Similarly, okay, the picture used as content elements should illustrate the variables. If you talk about pine, oak, and palm, okay, don't draw the same tree of oak. Pine have you draw as pine, okay. Palm you draw as palm. Then you can see the difference, right? So use the content to illustrate the variable. So next, okay, is about pie chart. When do you use pie chart? Okay, you use pie chart to convey approximate relative amount, okay, in a simple and high impact manner. The next question is, when are you going to use the pie chart that explode? Okay, so here is the tips, okay. Maximum 25% of the exploded pie. You use exploded pie. Exploded pie mean on the right hand side here. You put it out. What is the purpose of explosion? Explosion is to emphasize. This is what I want to tell you. Okay? And if you want to use multiple pi, okay, remember the principle of informative change. Okay, so if the proportion varies greatly, don't use pi. Right? If the information varies greatly, don't use pi. A while ago, if the change is almost the same, then you use pi. Two or three pi's. Okay. Next is bar chart. When are you going to use bar chart? Again, bar chart will show relative points. Okay, relative point compared to specific measurement. Okay, so you use bar chart if you have more than two categorical, okay, categorical values on the X. Now, bar chart can be vertical or horizontal, right? So you use horizontal bar chart if the label are too long to fit under the vertical display. Okay, so which one is better, horizontal or vertical? So when you are in doubt, use vertical. Why? Because of the culture. Okay, saying that higher is mean more. Right? So remember, when you use bar chart, the height of the bar represent specific point. Okay, so if you want to define specific point, use bar chart. Don't use line. Why? Because the line specify the continuous variation. So, but of course, if you want to see the continuous variation, use line. Okay. Another type of chart is called stack bar. This is also you can do in Excel. Okay. When are you going to use this? Okay. If you want to compare the whole, okay, and the levels, the values are nominal scale. Okay. So if you want to compare the whole and the part together, then you use stack bar. Okay. The stack bar will illustrate the proportion of its contribution of each component. Next is histogram. Right? So when are you going to use histogram? You use histogram to show the distribution values of one single variable. Okay? So in this case, you divide the value into bins and then you show the bar plot. Okay, and the height of each bar represent the count, either count or frequency or probability. Okay, sometimes we don't tell what is the vertical axis, because in histogram the vertical axis is always either count or frequency or probability. They are the same thing. Okay, so the shape of histograms depends on the number of the pins. Right? So look at the left hand side and the right hand side here. So they are actually the same information, the same data of petal width of iris data set. Okay, one is using 20 pins and the other one is using 10 pins. Okay, next is two-dimensional histogram. The question is, when are you going to use this? Okay, you will use two-dimensional histogram if you have joint distribution. If you want to show joint distribution of two attributes, two variables, for example, petal width and petal length. Again, the vertical axis here is always count, probability, frequency. They are the same thing. Until here, is there any question? So next chart is tornado chart. Okay, so this is side by side. Okay, tornado side. When are you going to use this? When you want to contrast the trend, okay, between the level of independent variables, right? Usually the zero you put line there, or you can also use this if you want to compare the individual pair of the values. Which one is the most important individual? So if you want to compare individual pair of values, don't use a bar chart. Use tornado side by side graph. Okay. So now you can also put color. Okay. So if the difference between pair values are important, then put color. Okay, to illustrate them directly. Okay, so the black portion in the bar will allow the reader immediately to see the difference. Okay, the difference between the total to the right and the left side. Okay, the bottom here there is no difference, so the black side represents the difference. Okay, so this is an example of how you visualize. Now, if you use side by side or tornado graph, okay, use only one independent variable. Okay, don't do more than one. So if you have two independent more than two independent variables, okay, so then you separate into two charts or three charts and so on. Okay, next is line chart. Okay, the question is, or sometimes this is called fever chart. Okay, when are you going to use? The line chart is used if the x-axis is an interval. Okay, why this is called fever chart? Because when you have fever, okay, your mom's supposed to put the temperature on you, and then put this into a chart, right? Something like this, right? So when your fever is down, so mean you are okay. Okay. So when you use a line chart, use line chart to display interactive over two level on the x-axis. Okay. So look at this pattern on the left side and the right side. Okay, they are the same data. Okay. But if you look at it, using a bar chart is more complex than to use line chart in this case. Because why? Because we want to see the interaction, okay, between summer and winter on Italy and Japan. Okay, and you use line chart, okay, to define meaningful pattern at glance. So comparing the bar chart and the line chart here, which one is easier, right? So you can see, if you look at the pattern, of course the line chart will help a lot in the perception of the reader. Okay. Now use two independent and use two dependent. You can use this, yeah. This is in Excel you can use two axes of dependent, right? Okay, so the question is, when are you going to use two dependent, okay, in a single display? If they are actually highly related, if you want to compare, right? So if they are not really highly related and you cannot compare it, then don't throw them in a single display. So look at the left hand side here. The mileage and the oil volume, they have different axes, but you cannot even compare anyway. So then don't use this, right? If they are almost the same, then you can start to compare on the right hand side. Okay. Use different color or different pattern if you have two y-axis. Okay. Put the two axes, one y-axis on the left and one y-axis on the right. So use different pattern. Okay. Or use different color at least. Now, next chart is scatter plot. In Excel, this is sometimes called XY. Yeah? So, when do you use this? If you have pair of coordinate and you want to plot as point in the plane, okay. So, scatter plot is very useful to show the correlation, to show the trend between variables. Okay. So, this is used when you want to display one variable, okay, when the other variable changes. So, example here, okay, on the left side, okay, and the right side is, okay, all this chart represent non-correlated data. Okay, of course, the right side is random. Okay, but remember, when you have a vertical or horizontal, they are actually not correlated also. Right? Can you see the trend here? Horizontal and vertical. Okay. The question is, can you draw a scatter plot of positively and negatively correlated? Okay. So when you say positive correlation, what? The X will going up, then the Y will also going up. Yeah. Positive correlation is always going from the bottom left to the top right. Okay, so positive correlation in the graph is like this. How about negative correlation? Negative correlation means from the top left to the bottom right. Okay, so this is the trend, downtrend. Okay. Represent negative correlation. Okay. So if you have many data and many variables, then you can scatter plot all of this into a matrix. Okay, so array or a matrix of the scatter plot. Then you can start to see the relationship between variables. Okay, and if each of the data, okay, also have different category. For example, this is an iris data, right? Iris is a flower, so have three type of flower: setosa, versicolor, and virginica. Okay, so then you can see different cluster there of the data between different type among different variables or different attribute. In here you have 4 attribute, with the sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. Okay, so if you have many variables, you can put them into array. Now, try to avoid illustrating more than one independent variable in a scatter plot. Look at the left chart here. You have a winter and summer sales. Or so this is kind of confusing, right? So between try to use just one, okay, only one independent variables. So in the left side here you have winter and summer of US and foreign model. Okay, on the right side is only US and foreign. So that is less complex. Okay. And you can add a trend line or line fit, okay, through the scatter plot to see how closely two variables are related, right? So we have what is called loss curve. Okay, when do you use this? This is usually polynomial. Okay, so you add a smooth curve in the scatter plot in order to provide a better perception of the pattern of dependence. Okay, so you use this using polynomial regression. Yeah? So this is an example of data x and y. Can you see the pattern here? Okay. So to emphasize the pattern, we can create a polynomial. Okay. Then you can start to see, right? Oh, there is a pattern of up and down here. Of course, this is overfitting sometimes, right? But it will help to see the pattern. The line will help to see the pattern on the data. Okay. Layer chart or area chart. This is also exists in Excel. So the question is when to use, right? So if your x-axis is interval scale, okay, to illustrate the change of the part, okay, but you do not want to show the precise value of the part, then you use layer chart or area chart. Okay, so sometimes you need to reorder the chart, the layer, okay, so that the change with the least is at the bottom. Okay, why? This is to ensure that the people will not misread the line. Okay, so you can add shading there. The one that have least change, you put them at the bottom. Yeah? The next chart is radar chart. This is also exists in Excel. When are you going to use this? You are going to use radar chart when you want to compare the real and the ideal. You want to compare the actual and the requirement. Okay, among several variables. Okay, so in this example, you want to see the which area are strong and which area need improvement. So then you will see comparing the actual and the required. Okay, so in here you can see the math, computer and science and language, okay, is already above the requirement. Geography is about the requirement, then art in this case is less than the requirement, right? Okay, until here, is there any question first? Anything? So you can draw a chart based on your data. So meaning that depending on your data type, okay, whether it is category or numerical, right? The type of the chart will be drawn based on the type of data that you want to put. Is it clear? Okay. Okay, let's continue a little bit about the charting tips. Okay. So yeah, these are the four topics I want to discuss. The inner grid, the appropriate grouping, the choice of independent variable, and put the zero. So sometimes you want to put grid, sometimes you don't, right? When are you going to put the grid, and when are you going not to put the grid, right? So you will remove the grid if it is actually distracting. Okay. and you will put the grid if actually you want to see the precise value. Okay, if the precise value are important for your reader, okay, then you need to put the grid. Okay, and next, which one you will group them together, right? So that depends on the meaning. Okay, so in this example in 1990s, yeah, so if you want to compare China and US in 1990s, that is not correct, because China and US are actually, at that time China was not giants yet, right? So at that time probably we'll say Japan and US is industrial nation, okay, and China economy is almost the same as Brazil at that time. Yeah, now probably China and US is okay to compare, right? Now the choice of independent variable, look at it. Okay, put the most important independent variable on the x-axis, and then treat the others variables as parameter. Okay. So here is on the left side, you have the number of points between Giants and Redskins. This is the sport groups, yeah? And then you will say whether the score is allowed or not allowed. So of course the most important independent variable is whether the score is allowed or not allowed. In that case, the group of the sport group is not so important. In that case, you put it at the second variables. Okay, so the right side here is better. Okay, the same thing here. So when you are in doubt, put the interval scale independent variable on the x-axis, right? So look at the left side and the right side here. They are the same information. One is about young or old voter, and then the other one is about the year, right? And the number of voter as the dependent variable. So you have two independent variable. What is one is the young or old voter, the age. The other one is the year, right? So in that case, put the year at the bottom. Why? Because the year represent numbers, yeah, interval scale. And if everything else being equal, so these are two categorical variables as your independent variables, right? Then try to plot them both and then look at the simplest pattern. That is the one that you will represent. Okay, of course the left side here is the pattern is complex compared to the right pattern, right? So you have a like a positive trend and negative trend on the right pattern. So this is the one that you presented. Okay, now again, left and right hand side here represent the same data. Okay, right, the same data, but when you put zero, okay, the salient zero as baseline, okay, when you have positive and negative value and you want to compare, okay, make sure that the zero baseline is visible, clearly salient, right? Okay, look at this, the same information, okay, and you put it in the proper chart, then it is easier to see. Right. The last part here is how to lie with the chart, right? So this is for fun. So, and of course, when you know how to lie with the chart, you also know how to detect the lie. in the chart, right? These are the way to lie in the chart. Okay, you can use scale manipulation, aspect ratio, or you can vary the starting place, or you can add a reference line. Okay, or you use perspective, or you use some kind of brightness and percentage, or insert a line. Okay, let us see. Okay, so here is the scale manipulation, the same data, right? The same chart, but different scaling in the y-axis. Look at the scaling. The y-axis here, yeah, one on the left side is between 5 to 6, right? On the right side is between 1 to 10. Okay, so on the left side in the news, you will say there is a massive increase in unemployment, but actually it's just less than 1%, right? On the right side, you will say the unemployment stay level. Look at the chart, it's almost level. Okay, they are the same data, but the way you chart it make the story, isn't it? Okay, so scaling, okay, will actually can be manipulated. So you be careful. You can start to detect the chart. Okay. Next is the same here. Yeah? Scaling matter. Okay. On the right hand side here, the left picture represent, oh, as if it's level, right? The trend is almost level. It's almost the same, right? On the right side here, but on the right side, you got the scaling is between 9 to 10, right? So the curve is look like very big. So be careful, okay? So when you want to emphasize the chains, then you use the right side. Okay. If you want to emphasize the level, you use the left side. So this is how to lie with statistics, right? So the same thing, okay? The aspect ratio of the chart. Okay, look, now I use the same scaling of the y, 1 to 7, isn't it? Okay, but now the width is different. Okay, the width of the chart will be different. Okay, so if you look at the left side here, it looks like a higher trend than the right side, right? Why? Because the width is longer. Okay, so different aspect ratio, even if you have the same y-axis, okay, also create a different perception among the reader. Wow, right? And of course, this is clearly this is a clear lie. Okay, what? Okay, the length of the bar, okay, not the height of the top convey the information in this display. So the zero changing, okay, the zero changing with the year. So in this case, using camel. Okay, so this is actually a clear, blatantly lie. So if you vary the starting place, okay, you will have a perception as if they are higher, but this is clear lie. Okay, unlike the earlier with the scaling and the width aspect ratio. Okay, in here is clearly lie. So another way is to emphasize, to mislead the perception. A while ago, remember, if you want to see the change, okay, as if they are very large, then you put a line and you put different shape. Okay, so put the reference line to mislead it perceives larger different height, right? And of course, you can exaggerate the size if you use perspective. Okay. Okay, the same height, right? But you exaggerate because of the perspective. Or you can use percentage. Another way is to use percentage, okay, to exaggerate or to minimize the change. So on the left side here, you use the real value, okay, and then on the right side here represent the change, the percent of the change. Of course, if the percent of the change is not so big, right? If you look at the real value, it's very big. This is your probably will become your favorite. Okay, you simply use different brightness. Okay. Look at the right hand side here. There is no difference in brightness, and the left hand side here represent different in brightness. Then you can see, wow, as if the Washington is look like very big, isn't it? Washington apple is look like very big. Okay, so adding intensity will exaggerate, okay, the visual impression. Okay, and here, if you want to emphasize something a while ago, okay, you can add a line. So this is, if you look at this, actually there is no pattern, right? But you want to create pattern out of nothing. Of course you can, right? Then people will start to see, oh yeah, there is a pattern. Right. Okay, until here, is there any question? Is it fun? Okay. So let's go to the next slide. So Excel charting. In here you will practice, okay? I want you to practice charting in Excel. Okay, so try to do this exercise in charting. Okay, so one is to combine two charts. The second is to create a speedometer. Okay, so I will explain and then you practice. Okay, first is the continuing your previous practice last week. Okay, from the US sales data, you use drag and drop in the pivot table, right? Okay, so you create this kind of pivot table, okay, and then you select the chart. Okay, so this is the first thing. After that, okay, so after that you create a chart. You right click on the chart worksheet and then you can start to create a chart, right? Now what I want you to do, take part of that product, sales and costs, for example, into a new sheet, okay, something like this, and then you chart them as bar chart first. So the bottom is the name of the product, right? And then for example the cost in the bar chart, and then you want to see the cost compared to the sales, right? Now can you put the sales as line? So you click one of the series, which is the sales here, and then you right click and then change the chart type into line chart. Okay, so try to do that. And then of course you should be able also to do conditional formatting, okay, to create this kind of scorecard. Okay, you say in the different colors and using traffic signal symbols, you can also do. Okay, and next is a speedometer. Here, how to do? Okay, to create a speedometer is just one value, huh? So you create this value. Okay, first the value I will put random in here. So random between 0 to 1, and then you put the start is 0, the red is 30, and then yellow is 30, for example, green is 40, and then the end is the sum, all of this. Okay, and then you put pointer of 1, and then the end value is the sum of, in this C, 3 to 7. Okay, and then the minus with the F3, which is the value, and F4 is the pointer. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, first you highlight, okay, the speedometer data as the chart of donut chart. So this is, you will highlight the start, the red, yellow, green, and end. Okay, and then you do a right click on the chart and rotate them 270 degrees. Okay, okay, you go to the format data series. Okay, in the series options you change the rotation to 270. Okay, and then now for each part you change the color. Okay, so no fill at the bottom, and then you change the color to red, yellow, and green. Okay, and then, okay, you will have like this, right? Then select the data in the design. You select the data and add source. Okay, and then you highlight the pointer data. So edit the series, okay, of the pointer, and you highlight this. Okay, and then next you select the second series, which is the external donut. Okay, and then change that series chart type into pie chart. Okay, and then you do right click again. Okay, and then do a format data series option, and then change the rotation to 270 degrees. Okay, and then put the series on the secondary axis. Okay, and then click on the larger part. Okay, and then change the fill into no fill, and then the small part fill with the black color. Okay, and then right click and then add the data label. Okay, put into values. Then you will have when you change the value, press F9, you will have different type. Okay, so try to do this exercise. Yeah, 2 exercise. Yeah, and then you show me when you finish. Okay,
People.
label.
Yeah, for the last step,
Oh,
because I cannot, when I do this, right, select the pointer and then add data label.
just last part, right? So you click the larger part there, which is the what is that called?
So I click this one.
Yeah, you click the larger part. Okay, and then you right click and then add data label.
Yeah, but it just adds, wait, one minute.
You want to? Oh, okay. Where is your ano?
I think maybe because I've already,
Can you make it into the black one first? So, can
yeah,
you?
it's already black, but it's very thin.
I see.
Just because of, okay, now we can see it.
Okay.
Maybe 3. Yeah, this is better.
So
So
you can make it larger if you want, so that you can see. And
yes,
then when you right click that one, and then you can say add data label.
let me just,
Okay. So click the black part there, and then add
right.
data label.
Um, oh, no. It, add data labels.
If you right click, there is a menu, add
Yes,
data label. Right?
I will share my whole screen so you can see. This one, wait, let me, I've already add data label, right? So,
Okay.
and then show up here. Okay, and but
Yeah, and then you point to your value.
out this,
No, value is what is it? E3
yeah, E3. So how do I do that?
equal E3.
Oh,
The data label you put is equal E3.
um, it does, it doesn't do anything.
Hmm?
Uh,
Can it show the data label?
sorry?
Can it show the data label or not?
Yes, it can.
It can.
Data label.
Yeah, add data label.
Yes, I've already done it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Very thick. 56.
Oh,
There you get the label already, right?
yeah, but it's the pointer, not the value.
Only one of them, because you show the three of them, so you only select one of them.
Yeah, but on this one, it's it's the pointer, not the value.
Because actually you can select the data label, and then you put equal to the value.
Yes, it doesn't work. E3, right? And then I enter. Oh no, E3, and it just stays like that, equal to E3.
Or maybe the pointer is the one that you put as. So can you put the value as your pointer?
Yeah, that's the point. I cannot do that.
Oh, no. Earlier, the you misstepped the earlier part.
Oh,
Yes. So go to the slide step 5. You click the larger part, right?
yes.
Okay. And
Edit no fill.
yes. So the one that you click is actually either value or pointer or the end, right?
Uh-huh.
So you only click the value, not the end, not the pointer, not the end.
What the? What do you mean? So wait. I'll just make it solid fill.
Ah,
this one, solid fill. So which one should I actually make?
Because you can you are trying to show three things right there, right?
Yes.
Either the value or the pointer or the end, right? So you don't want to show the pointer and you don't want to show the so the end, right? So you only show the value.
So I only show the value. So I only show this one. So this one should be no fill, and this one should be no fill. But it becomes like this if I show the value.
The three. Okay. So if you highlight this, you see you have 56, 13, and 130.
31. I make this 5, so it's not that big. This is the value. But if it's larger, for example, like 16, then it's going to be larger then.
Oh, not like that.
Yeah, that's why, because I earlier I picked the pointer, right? The value I do it no fill.
Mm-hmm.
This one, the end no fill, and then this is the pointer, right? The pointer is the one that has color. I made it 5. I made it this.
Yeah.
If I add data label, it's going to show the number of the pointer instead of the value.
Actually, what you want to show is not the pointer. What you want to show is the value, right?
So I show the value.
Yes.
But if I show the value, it's going to be very thick.
No, the pointer is represent the width of the pointer. The value is represent the where it will go.
So which one should I put no fill?
The one that you put no fill is the pointer and the end.
Oh, okay. So we put this one. So I put. Let's just delete this. Okay, so this is the end. So I put no fill. This is the pointer. I put no fill. So we have this.
Oh, why like that?
Because this is the thickness of the value.
Okay, let's try again. So I will try to draw this using a donut. The chart is a donut chart. Okay. Okay, so let us do it then. I will share my screen. Okay, let us see. So I have this. I will call this speedometer. So in here I will put equal. Did I record? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You can see your screen. Oh, okay.
Okay. So here in the chart, I will put equal. What happened to this? Oh, I cannot go to formal bar. Okay, anyway, speedometer, right? And then what we will do, so highlight the speedometer data chart as donut chart, right click on the chart, okay, right click on the chart, and then rotate, right? So format data series, let me go, so right click on the chart, format data series, right, and then rotate. Okay, so format data series, we want to rotate. I have no idea why everything is not there. Format data series. I'm supposed to get the rotation. Where is the rotation? Do you know where is the rotation? Service option is empty.
It should be
It's
on.
supposed to be there. Yeah.
What happened to my Excel? Suddenly I cannot see them. Something is wrong. Usually it's there, right? Anyway, let me create a new one. New sheet. Okay, I'll create a new sheet and I highlight this, right, insert, and then the chart. What chart do I have? From all chart, oh, the name is no longer donut, it's called sunburst. Is that correct?
On mine, it's still called donut.
Still called donut. Oh, that's why probably. Why I don't have donut anymore? That's super strange. Can you see the donut
Maybe it's under pi.
under pi?
Yeah,
Oh,
that one.
yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, that's correct. Okay, so this is the donut. Okay, so under pi is the donut, and then what we will do? We will create a format data series. Oh, there. So we will put the rotation, right, to 250. Angle of first, we put it to 270. Okay, and then we change the color, right? So we change the color to solid color. This one I changed to red. This one I changed to yellow. This one I changed to green. Is that correct? And this one I remove. Put white. So I finished first part. Oh, second part also finished. Next, So select the data from the design, select the data and then add source. So here I go to the design and then I select data and then I add, right? Where to add? Oh, wait, I need to remove this so that I can point. Select data, I add. Okay, I will put what's the name? Okay, pointer maybe, yeah. So I will add pointer, series name, and the data is these three values. Okay, so there I have the external circle, right? And then select this external donut. So I click this and then change the chart type. Change the chart type to a pie. Okay, just the normal pie. Then I click OK. Oops. Okay, and then right click again, format data series, format data series, and then rotation 250, plot the second area. Again, this is 270, right? And then what else? Oh, so this one again I put fill with white, right? So click the larger part, fill with black color. So which one should I fill with black color? The point, or this represent the value, the pointer and the end, right? Is that correct? Oh no, what happened? This is not the one I want. Why I changed the... Oh, come on. This is supposed to be the... Oh, the chart is wrong. The chart should be donut, right?
I think you misclick on the when you want to change it into pie. You
Oh,
accidentally click the inner one.
oh yes, correct. The inner one supposed to be donut. The inner one, the inner one supposed to be donut. Is that correct? Pie, donut. Click OK. So where? Oh, it's the other way around. anyway. So again, format data series, I put 270, and this one I can change this filling. I think something is wrong. Okay, let's start again. Chart donut. Okay, so this is speedometer. And I add chart, select data, add pointer, and then this tree. Click OK. So where is this? C 4 to 8. Let's name this speedo. Click OK. So there, this is what we have. The pointer is outside. So let me show. This is actually the pointer is 5. So and then we rotate, right? Both of them we rotate to 270, right? So change the series, we rotate to 270, and then outside also. How about the inside? The inside also 270. Okay, so there. I will remove the color. Can I change that to no? So the inside, let me change this, the inside to yellow. Okay, so this is, I can change the green or red. Wait, why all? Only this I change to red. Okay, only this I change to yellow. Can, and then only this I change to green. Can, then I only this I change to white. There. Okay, so I got that. Now I need to make the outside. No, not explosion. How about this? Okay, next I need to click the larger part, this one, and then format it as no fill. Right, and then oh wait, I got confused now with the larger part. Format data series. Okay, with solid part first. Fill with the black color. Okay, pointer. Okay, so this is until, if you look at this result that I make, can you see it? This is actually the value of the value represent how it move, right? The value is represent how it move, and then the pointer is the width of the pointer, and then so for example, if I put width 5, it will become thicker like that, right? So I just remove the value and the there. Okay, the value until the end. So this is basically the pointer. Okay, let's come back to the this one. So I click the outside. Now I need to change to 270, the same 270. Right, and then I right click this part, the larger part, and then I make it no fit there. Okay, and I click the small part, I fill with black. Okay, and then this one I fill with no fill there. So I got right. So if I press F9, so I put 1 there. Oh, can you do it?
Mine works, sir.
You have done, so
My, yeah.
you want to share your screen? Oh, very nice.
Or is it not randomized?
You just randomize, yeah. Or you can type any number. And then press F9.
Wait. Why is it? No, I think I colored the wrong one.
Yeah, I think it's just
Or
color.
is it because I make a pie
I mean, the
chart?
rotation is the problem. It's just rotation. That is already correct. You just need to change the rotation. Oh, there, the rotation is 0. You need to change to 270.
Oh. Okay.
Working, right? Oh, nice.
Oh, because the speed limit is 100.
There, 98. That's correct. Okay,
Okay.
very good. Very good. Yeah. Divi, Mancha, how is it?
Mine works just fine, but I cannot get the header, the label
Label,
to
okay.
really work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is just like I move it around.
Yeah,
It
you
doesn't
can just move it
it's
down
connected
there.
to the
Okay.
yeah. For example, if I put 10,
Yeah, it works. So,
yeah, but it just
anyway, this is just for fun, right? You created a new chart which does not exist in Excel.
yeah.
So, at least it's just cool that you have a new chart that is not really in Excel. That is the point in here. Vivi, have it everything okay?
I kind of confused with the last part.
The last part.
Definition.
Yeah, the last part is a little bit difficult. You want to share your screen? Yeah. Yeah. So you just click the green part there. And the last part have 2, right? Okay. Yes, the green part you just color it as white. Yes. Okay. And then that one you color it as black. Okay. So there must be 3 values, but you have only 2. I don't know. Try to make the pointer 5. So the pointer, can you change it to the value of pointer in F4? Can you make it 5, for example? Try, so that we can see. Oh, there. Okay, that one is the one that you changed to black, and then the one that now in black you change it into white. Yeah, okay. Now the value you can change to, now you can change to 1 again. There you can. Okay. So press F9, you will get the speedometer. Right, very good. Right. Okay, so you create a new chart. Yeah. Yeah, so this is just for fun. How about the chart combination? No problem, right? So combination of line and bar chart. Is there any problem? Did you make it? Oh yes, very good. Can you put the second the line one on the right hand side? So click the course. Yes, and then right click. Format data series and secondary axis. There. Okay, very good. Okay, so now you can see you have two dependent variables, a secondary axis, right? Okay, very good. Joy, Pancha, no problem with the mix of two chart.
No problem actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Works just fine.
Yeah.
This is the secondary axis and this
Yes,
is
exact.
alright.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Okay, very good. Right, Joy, no problem.
No problem, sir.
No problem. Okay, good, good. So now I want you to create a. Okay, finish. Is there any question about charting, about visualization? So far, no problem. Okay, let's close your Excel and let's try to make a new one. Okay. So first thing first, I want you to create a counter. So we will begin with the Excel iteration. Okay. I want you to create a counter. This is number one. Yeah. Create a counter. That every time you press F9, it will go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want you to create a counter. So I will name this counter. Counter. Right? So and then I'll put okay. Oh, I put what is called control. So again, I name this control. Okay. So in the control, I put stop. In the counter, I put if the control is empty. Okay. Then me counter plus 1. Otherwise, initial value 0. So, can you make it? Okay, what will happen if we delete this stop? Oh, it will say there are more circular reference, right? So there is an error. Okay, so click OK, and then go to what option kana? Option, and then go to formula, go to enable iterative calculation, and then change the maximum iteration to 1. Okay, and then click OK. Then you see the counter start to become 1, to become 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Okay, this one first. Can you make it? And then show me. So that is the basic of what is the next lesson, okay, that we will discuss next meeting, which is the Excel iteration. Okay, so Excel have capability to iterate, to create something new, okay, and to animate, but you need to use the error, okay, of Excel, with this cycle. With this, you can create any program in Excel. Okay, you can create any program in Excel without actually doing a programming. Oh, can you make the counter?
Yes, but I at the wrong settings. The iteration I set to 100, so it goes up by 100 every time.
Okay, so you change to 1, okay?
It works now. Then share my screen.
Uh, when you click stop, it's supposed to be 0.
One more.
Okay, let me check the counter.
Oh, it's supposed to be 0.
Not plus, not plus. Yes, correct. And then, oh, very good. Very good. Okay, very good. So now question, if you know how to make a counter, what else can you make? Okay, I told you a while ago, you can make any program actually. Can you make a memory in Excel? Can you make a memory? Example, let me share my screen again. So the counter is okay, Livy, Mancha?
I'm still working on it. I don't really remember how to do
Oh, okay.
what is the
Go share your screen so that I can help you.
because the last one I tried it didn't work, so I just made on this new sheet. Wait.
Okay, make a new sheet.
Oh yeah. So this is the same sheet on the last one, but
Okay.
just I made it on another.
Okay, okay. So
Control and
counter, control and counter. Okay, that control you put stop. Just type stop, any actually, and then can we give name first so that not
oh, this one.
yeah, that one is control, and then the counter is counter. Okay, good. So then if the control equal empty, yes, and then counter plus 1.
Oh,
So
oh.
you go to itself,
Yes.
yes, and then otherwise 0.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So when you delete that, it will say there is a error, right? So you go to home.
Home, isn't it?
Home.
This is home.
Yes.
Oh, you mean The settings.
Excel, yeah. Excel.
Wait, I remember that it's actually around calculation,
Yes, correct. And then
iterative.
iterative, yes. And 1. Maximum iteration is 1.
One.
Yes. Click OK.
Sorry. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Then
Yes, it worked. So press F9,
oh, F9.
function 9.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's worked. See, very good. So now think, yeah. Now think about what can you use with it. Okay. So next week we will deal with it, a few of it. Okay. Livy, can you make it? You want to show? Because this is the basic. Okay. If you cannot make counter, you cannot do the next stage. Press F9. Ooh, excellent, excellent. Okay. So now I will share my screen for the last part. So that suppose now I have a stop here. Okay, and then I create a random here. Okay, so I will put random between, right? Oh, sorry, random between 1 to 100. Okay, so then I put number, okay, value. Okay, so here is 1 and then plus 1, right? So I will copy until 100. Okay, and then now I want you to put that every time I press random, okay, when the control is not stopped, every time I press random, every time I press F9, that value of random will be fill in this value. Can you do it? Okay, this is not a assignment, but try to do it on your own first. Okay, next week we will practice that. Okay, every time you press F9, okay, the value of that random will be filled into that value. So based on the counter. Okay, based on the counter. So okay, if the control is empty, right, and then if the counter is equal to the number, okay, then copy that random value. Okay, otherwise what? In itself. Okay, and it's
we cannot see your screen.
yeah, I'm deliberately not to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here it is. Oh, wait, still wrong. Why 0? If counter equal to, oh, I know why. Wait. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, here it is. Okay, so you make it like this. I will show you now. So I will put stop. It's empty, right? And then when I delete the stop, meaning the experiment start running, look at the number, run 18, right? Oh, 69, right? Number 1, right? And then I press F9, 80, see? And then I press F9 again, Oh, 99. It's recorded. You see that? I press again. Oh, 62 recorded. Oh, 22 recorded. 30 recorded. 51 recorded. 75 recorded. And so on. Of course, when I put stop, no more, right? So, if I remove, it will always record. Da, da, da. So, can you make it? So, what is the function in this value here? Okay. Make it. So, see you next week then.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
See you next week.
Thank
We'll
you,
make
sir.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.